Hello guys, this is Nick and I am here with another build I have built. Now, every episode, on the even episodes, I am going to have redstone builds, and on the odd builds, I'm going to build normal build stuff. But today, we have a strange machine here. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck is this contraption? You can see there's a bad wolf. But as you can see, we have this little contraption here, as well as just a few other things. Now, what this contraption does is something you're probably gonna think, oh, that's kind of cool. What it does is it is a life counter. Now, this is good for something where you're like, 10 deaths and I'm not playing anymore. That kind of thing. It can be a hardcore death tracker if you really want to be kind of like that. I don't know, like 5 deaths, 3 deaths, whatever you really want. Now, this was just because I don't really like, the main controlling of command blocks. It's just really annoying to have to figure out all the commands that are really confusing. I don't know. They can be easy once you learn them, but I just sort of feel like sometimes it takes a bit too much time. So I made this machine. Now, I'm going to show you what it does before I actually explain to you how. So, normally you'd make this with probably bedrock everywhere, and it would just be a bedrock everything, and then there would be doors, and except for right here, this would be something like stone. Now, what you do is, once you spawn in the world, you'll step on this pressure plate, which will cause a dispenser to drop an item on here. That will cause this right here, which already has an item on it, unfortunately, to make some cobblestone. Normally, if there was an item on it, that would push forward, but I've done this a few times, just, to get a good feel. So basically, it happens like this, boom, alright, and then that happens. Now, you just put sugarcane or whatever you really want in here just to act as a light. Now, as you can see, it pushes forward, basically, and that counts as the first life. This is a 32 death counter, so this doesn't really count as life at all. It's just like, so then you spawn in the world. Now, you set your spawn to where you land on the pressure plate to make sure there's no way you can't land on it. Now, once you press the pressure plate, it goes through to this dispenser. That puts an item into this item hopper, which travels into this other dispenser. Now, this dispenser is going on and off by a timer, so it just goes on and on. This timer, though, is just about 5 long, so about every 3 seconds, it's going to dispense. So what happens if I land on this pressure plate is, boop, item dispenses. Boom, and it automatically pushes the next one. As you can see, that's just simple hopper wiring. It's nothing too tricky. Now that just pushes out and counts as the first life. Now, what happens if we take all of our 30 lives? So I'm just going to step off and on of this. Boom. And I'm just going to step off of this a few times. And back on. So we're just stepping on this. Now, as you can see, I stepped on it too fast, but already here at how many lives? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, actually no, sorry, it's 6, sorry, I was getting a bit confused there, but yeah, we're at 6. At the live point. Now, step on here a few more times and I'll show what happens. Alright, one more, okay, so I'm going to step on these. Boom. Now watch what happens. Boom. The redstone from this wiring turns this on. That goes over here to push 2 pistons. This piston, which now connects to the other pistons, and this piston, which pushed a redstone torch. The redstone torch cannot make it do this anymore, it cannot push it out anymore, which automatically means that it starts dispensing cobble, like the first one. Now, as this happens, your lives keep dropping. You know, you've been playing for a bit now, probably a long time. I mean, this is 32 lives we're talking about here. But if we just do that again, I'll show you it in action. Boom. There we go. It just keeps going, and I'm going to show you what happens once we get to the 30 death point. Now, the second one does the same thing, but the third one does something else. So as you can see, it's not really generating new lives right now. I do not see no Fule. Let me check. Okay, yes, it is generating lives. I just was being misunderstood. Boom. Okay, we're gonna keep pushing here. Limits of the redstone. Okay. So once we get to this point, boom, the same thing happens again, and now the pistons are all acting in the same way. Now, you have to make sure you use obsidian at the ends there because pistons cannot push obsidian. So that's just something simple enough. So we're just gonna keep pushing. And on the last one, I'm just going to go ahead and step on the machine itself so you can get a good view of what it's actually doing the last time, which is really cool. Now I'm going to go ahead and last two more. So I'm going to push it once more. Now I'm going to have to get a stone block in my hand. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand right here waiting. But basically, I'll show you what happens. So, alright. Attracts that, which unpulls this piston, which puts lava. So basically, you're not allowed to exit the doors anymore. Boom. That's the main idea of the whole system. So you can even put 5 lives on there, just so then, you know, it's a little bit easier. I mean, it is a pretty complicated system with 32 live count. But it does get quite simpler eventually. It gets pretty simple, basically. Oh god. Sorry, I messed that up. So basically, this device is just sort of, I don't know, for like survival. I know that you can, if you really want, you can just go ahead and use the command box. I know that that's your own choice. I just sort of, in my own opinion, I prefer to do it really, to do it my own way, kind of just like, I don't know, I'm like one of those people who like, build it yourself, I don't know, but yeah, so that's sort of my whole idea in the theme here, was like, build it yourself, in a factor, and I thought this is a pretty cool project I've made. So now I'll explain to you how to build it. Okay, so building this is pretty easy. So of course you're not going to build it in survival, but you are going to build it in creative before you start surviving. And if you really don't like cheats, that's fine. I'm not one of those people either. But basically you just need to build. Really, if you're doing 5, you don't need as many as these, but you need a cobblestone generator. You need sticky piston, sorry, not a sticky piston, a normal piston, to just push everything out for you. Another thing you're definitely going to need is, well, lava, of course, for all the things, but it's basically a contraption with hoppers, dispensers, redstone torches, redstone devices that make it longer. I'm not really sure what they're called. I'll check that. Yes, redstone repeaters. I'm so stupid. It also requires pressure plates, normal redstone, sticky pistons, lots of cobblestones to make all the different areas and that kind of thing. Now, if you love, you know, redstone, then I recommend you try this out. It's just sort of a fun build it yourself kind of project. There we go, you guy. You're beautiful. But so this is my main little project I worked on. Again, it is a project, and I know that there's a lawnmower outside. You're probably going to hear that because it's louder than my own voice. But basically, yes, this is my device, and it's just a nice kind of do-it-yourself project that I think is kind of fun to do, and it's just for survival. So hopefully you guys have liked. So leave a comment, subscribe, and see you guys next time with more building.